Welcome to Rubber City Motoring. This one's interesting because recently Hertz, of all things, they made the news of pretty much like dumping a lot of their electric vehicles based on cost of maintenance, keeping them going on the road. I don't even know if people are renting them, honestly. So go back a month or two ago, and I actually rented an electric vehicle. I believe it was from Avis. Either way, though, I was curious if this is feasible for a weekend trip. Is it smart? Is it something you should do? So take a look. I kind of run you through the process. This is my second electric car experience. My first was the Tesla. If you go back a video or two, it's right there. But a little different experience with this car, and my thoughts on renting it for a weekend and how you should manage that. So enjoy.
I found that they actually include a level 1 charger. It was in the trunk, of all things. And this is Hyundai branded. There's a little button on the back. You push this and it kind of shows your status. 12 amp here. They say, the internet says, charging this method, going from 0 to full, 50 hours. I've had it plugged in since about, I don't know, the middle of the night last night. And I'm guessing I gained a little bit, but this is not your ideal way to charge this. But at least it's something. I was very concerned about this, how I was going to charge this thing on the trip, other than finding and paying for charging spots and stuff. Because, as you know, these things aren't as easy to fill up as obviously a gas motor. But that is included, so that's cool. This is a pretty base model. I mean, which I'm a fan of. As much as, you know, it's like you want like a loaded up thing, and you want it's great to have just a simple, like, this doesn't feel any different than a normal gas powered car. It's got buttons, actually. It's, you know, it's not bad. So this is what's on the dash here while we're charging. My battery's up to 73%. So last night when I got it from the rental car place, it was 80%. So that brought us up to, I don't even know, I was down to 70-ish or so, maybe less than 70%. So now I'm 73%. But 15 hours left to get this to 100%. That's insane. That is a slow charge. But, I mean, as you can see, pretty basic inside. Cloth seats. There's buttons, actually, unlike the Tesla. It's not too bad. I mean, you can figure this car out pretty easily if you're used to a standard gas-powered car. Trunk is fairly decent sized. I mean, this is, you know, as far as I know, they have a gas and electric versions of this. This isn't just a specific to the electric world, but I did find the whole level 1 charger kind of like hidden way down in here. It looks like they have a tire patch kit because there's no spare tow hook, little screw-in job there, and then the telltale foam in there, but that all closes up neater than that, and then there you go. I'm guessing I'm just going to take that thing with me just in case, but I think there's some chargers on the way which we'll try, and I'd like to get a dash view of that if we can find it. But overall, not too shabby. Wheels are pretty ugly in my opinion, and they all seem to have that. Little glance at the interior here. We do have a, you know, a standard key fob, nothing weird, again, like the Tesla. I mean, it's just kind of normal, you know, push button start, but you're not really starting anything. Watch this. And that's one of my favorite things. It's just nothing happens, but yet it's ready to drive. And nice push button here, which makes sense in an electric car. You don't need a big mechanical thing in this type of car. There we go. It plays these weird sounds. Like, it just sounds so weird. And that's the electric motor there. You hear that noise. Kind of quiets down when you get outside a little bit, but Very, very funny. I wanted to show this mode while I'm in the middle of it here. So there's these little paddles here that you can adjust your regen settings. So like the more it's up there, you see it increasing right there on the right side. The more you let off the gas, it regenerates. But you turn all that off and it pretty much coasts like a normal car after you let off the gas or the accelerator. This is the sport mode though. The gauges all change to red, and it just really pulls good. I mean, that's fun, but I'm also killing my battery much faster. I do love the coasting though, as it just rolls right along instead of that, like, it's just a weird feeling when you let off the gas on these EVs. It just sort of kind of drags. I mean, it would literally slow itself to a stop, which I understand why, but it's kind of annoying. So I'm more of a middle of the road on the regen, but I'd prefer none at all, if I'm honest. Alright, so it's a little noisy, but here we are. I'm at a rest area, and there's this whole charging area. Luckily, a spot was open right here, and I had to get the Charge Up app, add funds, and here it goes. It's going, if you can see that. I assume that's 28% active power. 4 minutes so far of charging. Now there was multiple ones here, like there's this weird one here, I don't know what that is. That one's heavy. And then I had to use this one here, this style, plugs into both ports on here. This guy in this Tesla pulled up, he had a back end and he had an adapter on his. That's interesting. So we're gonna, let's go eat, because this just is going, and I need juice in it. So I don't know how much it costs. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but I'll watch it on my app and see. But everything got really loud when they started charging, and I will say my experience with the Tesla, it was much easier charging than this was. And once I got it going, it was fine, but the Tesla just magically worked. So this is where we're at in the world, right here. EV charging. Very interesting. So inside the Kona, remaining time, it says it's going to take an hour to get to 100%. And it'll be 3 minutes to 80. Now the other thing that's interesting, the app takes a minute to catch up. I feel like it should charge a faster rate than this based on the connectors and that, but I think that's just down to you know, what that station right there is doing. So we're getting 25, 26 kilowatts here. It was up higher at one point. I was in the 50s. I don't know, maybe it goes back and forth to not, you know, ruin your battery or overheat it and all that stuff. But you know, we're almost to 80%. We've been going, gosh, I started about, I think I was at 30 some percent, and it's been going here 40 minutes, and that's cost me $15 for 39 kilowatts, or kilowatt hour, whatever that is. I don't know. And then that red indicator there is telling us we're charging. So interesting though, definitely new to me. There, it's kind of blinky. Let's see. Stop. Took you to 82. Okay, let me go over here. Let's see if I can unplug it. Oh, it got quieter. Okay, that's off. Oh, huge cord. Okay, that's in there. And then, okay, confirm, we're done. All right, not bad. And then we put all this garbage back onto here. And we're in. Back on the road after 45 minutes. So after 3 days with the Kona here, I'm gonna say I like this version of the electric car a little better than the Tesla in that it's just simpler. There's not as much going on, even though there is. It just seems like a normal car. You can option for electric, and that's it. As a rental car, though, it is tricky having an electric car because you can't just stop and top off. Like, even now, I am currently at 60% battery. It's going to take me another day using the wall charger up there to top this thing off. I haven't turned it in yet. They gave it to me with an 80% charge. I'm maybe hoping to give it some more juice before I get back there, because I am going to use it today, and it gets turned in tonight. If for some reason you have this and you're banking on like a hotel to have a charger or multiple chargers, it's tricky because they could all be full. I mean, we've all seen the memes and the Instagram reels and all that stuff of people pulling up, they're all taken and there's a line. So we're not quite there yet. And I mean, it's a really neat concept. I'm not going to say I'm against it. It's just the convenience isn't there yet. And if they're, what do we always worry about taking a rental car back? Oh, it's got to have a full tank of gas, or, oh, you're going to pay $5 a gallon for them to top it off, which you can't do that. It's not like it's the end of the world, but just driving this thing around, if you don't have access to a plug like I do, like right over there, you're getting nothing while you're sitting at your hotel. So there is that end of it. Now, being here in the garage, it's not bad, not a bad idea, because they included the cord. I was totally worried if that cord was going to be with it or not on the pickup, but it happened to be in the back. So interesting idea. I'm not sure if I'll do it again, just because it's like I'm constantly watching and having that range anxiety, and you can't just real quick stop at every fifth gas station I stop and fill up just because. So you do have that end of it, but not bad from Hyundai. Final thoughts. It doesn't have to be complicated to go electric. You could give this car to an average driver, not tell them what it is. They're going to notice, but it drives just like a normal car. It just isn't that complicated to do. It has a normal key fob. It has, everything that you would have in a normal car. It just has an electric propulsion system. So that's my take on it. I definitely enjoyed this more than the Tesla, mostly because it wasn't being weird just to be weird. It was just like, yeah, we're going to make an electric car and it's going to feel normal, which I kind of like. So bear in mind, though, I have seen some cars on this trip. I saw a GT350, I saw a WRX, I've seen Corvettes. I'd still much rather have one of those just for the sheer fun factor, even though this thing is very zippy for a cheap-ish EV. Like, this feels like a base EV. I mean, look at, it's got cloth seats. It's nothing fancy. So yeah, that's the Kona. And I'm going to take it back here after, I don't know, a few hours today driving around and doing stuff with it, but not too shabby of an experience. And it was actually pretty cheap for 3 days, like $180. So if you want to give one of these a try, you can definitely attempt to rent one. I did reserve a Bolt initially, Chevy. They assigned me a Corolla, and I asked them if they had any electric cars, and they gave me this. So coming from Avis, don't count on getting the model, just like any rental car. But if you tell them electric and you reserve electric, there's a chance you could still get some form of electric car. So there's that. What I find interesting about this charging is, this is the second electric car I've had. I'm on a charger that offers the full speed, and yet I have never gotten it on 2 electric cars now. And this is barely, 37, 38, and it's supposed to do 180 allegedly, and it's going to take an hour and a half to get to a full charge. It's just weird. I get there's reasons, like, oh, the battery's too hot, the charge, whatever it may be, it's fine, but it's definitely not like a quick, like, let's pull over, juice up, 50 to 100% real fast. It's just not a quick thing by any means. I mean, that big box there is really doing a lot. It's making a lot of noise. I don't know what this guy's doing. It's just weird. I wish it would just be a little bit more consistent. And I know it's very technical. There's a lot going on in the car. It's nearly 80 degrees outside. I get all that, but I don't know. I mean, there's no way I'm sitting at a gas station or a rest area for an hour and a half to get to a full charge. I mean, I even got food here to eat, and I want to be done here in about 10 minutes. It does make sense though to have these charging stations at a food area. I mean, like Cracker Barrel should install these, and Bob Evans, because a gas station just doesn't make it. A gas station is meant to be a quick stop. You get something quick and you leave. If you're just pulling up to a regular gas station and buying a Coke, you're not going to sit there for an hour and a half and drink your soda or your pop or whatever. So just another observation on this whole thing, and especially on a weekend trip with a rental car here, this is just a waste of time at this point. So, oh well, plugging along, literally.